Hey friends, welcome to this Pick a Card Tarot reading with messages from your spirit guides. So this is a timeless reading. Whenever you are seeing this reading, it is meant for you in this moment. We've got 3 different decks for you to choose from today. Each one contains a piece of obsidian, all from Glass Mountain in Oregon, Eastern Oregon. I went and took a trip and it was beautiful out there, and I collected all of this raw obsidian. So we have the first pile with this beautiful see-through glass obsidian. We've got the second pile with this more rock-like volcanic still obsidian piece. You can see here with its chip. It has some of the red beautiful obsidian as well as the black involved. And then we have this final mostly red obsidian with a little bit of the black lines as well, more glass-like. So take a look at these piles, see which one is calling out to you the most, and that will be the reading for you from messages from your spirit guides. Your spirit team, we all have a team in the non-physical that is dedicated to helping us in this lifetime. And the more that you learn how to listen to this team, the more you can go in flow with them. You know, they can't come in and help you unless you call and ask for their help. But, you know, if you're watching these videos and you catch this, this is a message coming to you from them specifically, some guidance that they would really, really like to give you right now. So once again, we have 3 piles here. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. So feel free to choose which one is calling out to you, and down below in the description section of this video, there will be a link to your pile. I just want to give a huge, huge shout out to all of my Patreon subscribers. Super, super happy to have you with me. If you want to check out my Patreon, that's available at patreon.com/JunoDrone. Check below down in the description section for more information and a huge call out to all of them. So thank you everyone who's getting involved in that. And I am also incredibly excited to announce I have some new options for my private readings. I'm introducing a new 15-minute reading that is $25. So this is just a way for me to be able to help more people answer their questions. So if you've been dying to do a reading with me but kind of felt like you know, you couldn't for whatever reason, this is just giving you another option. I would absolutely love to do a reading with you. So anyway, friends, feel free to choose the reading that is jumping out to you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. Thanks, guys. Hey there, pile number 1. You chose the pile with this beautiful see-through glass obsidian. This is going to be a reading with messages from your spirit guidance. Your spirit team in the non-physical is coming into you whenever you're catching this video, giving you some information to help you move along on your path, in your life, wherever you are, whatever's happening for you, with you, to you, against you. I mean, everything's for you ultimately. Literally everything that happens in your life is a part of your plan to learn, and so it's just a matter of figuring out how it fits in with your life, how things are moving, how to move with yourself and not against yourself. It's not easy, trust me, but once you start to figure out your groove in things, you'd be surprised on how things start to move. At least I know that from my own personal experience. So we have a bunch of different tarot decks and some oracle cards for you. We're starting out, I have a fair amount here, a big chunk of oracle cards from the Wild Unknown. We've got 5 cards from the Wild Unknown. So we're going to pull these over, kind of see what's going on, get the main story here, and then for clarity and guidance, we have more cards coming in. So first card that comes to you is the Devil. Okay, interesting. All right, so not to be afraid. The Devil can be kind of a scary card sometimes when you see it. but it doesn't have to be that way. The Devil is a card that speaks of liberation, ultimately, because the Devil is kind of like... the devil's in the details, right? That saying, that's what's coming to me from this. It's important to remember that the devil comes in with those little naggy things, right? They're the little things. And ultimately, you know, it's very, very easy in life to let those little things really get to us and build into something really catastrophic, seeming, I'll put it that way. Reality in life is all about perception. So in order to move through these kinds of snafus, the reason why this card is called a card of liberation is sometimes the biggest, most life-changing lessons that come to us come in the form of difficulties and challenges that ultimately teach us how to perceive reality in a different way. And so sometimes that perception comes in a way that is seemingly difficult. You know, the devil, this demonic sense, right? You know, it doesn't have to be quite that intense, although sometimes it can be, and maybe it is. We'll look at the cards for some more options, but ultimately, the devil, like that devil energy, it's like those you know, it tends to be those kinds of addictions or habits, you know, negative habits that, like I said, they don't have to be huge, huge, huge things, right? This isn't necessarily just, you know, the big three of like drugs, sex, and rock and roll, right? You know what I mean, right? Yeah, it's not just that shit. I love me some rock and roll, so don't think anything different. But you know what I mean, right? Like it doesn't have to just be anything huge. It doesn't have to be anything scary. And in fact, it tends to be more these little things that you learn, you know. It's those little habits that keep you stuck in bed glued to your phone all day instead of getting out of bed and working. You know, it's those little things that add up to make you feel like you know, literally can't, you know what I mean? And that's all your life is. It's those things that make it so that, you know, you're constantly worried about the state of the world and every little thing that's happened to you. It's those little things that keep you stuck thinking about what happened 21 years ago when so-and-so did something or other and you don't know how to get past it. You know, it's all of that stuff, which ultimately what you can learn how to do is move through it, and you move through it by, you know, coming to terms with yourself, really, really just like coming back into the present moment and learning how to, it's learning how to see that, like I was saying at the beginning, it's this perception shift. So it's like those little things that can become huge. You start to develop the ability to recognize those things, and it becomes like a fly that's buzzing around you, right? If a fly is buzzing around you, you don't have to let it ruin your entire day. You just go, shoo fly, don't bother me, you know what I mean? You brush it off and then you move on, right? So it's learning how to make those little things, those little nags. And like I said, if you do have a major addiction, you know, addictive tendencies are hard to break because they're habits that you formed. It's repetitive energy. That's just, the more that you repeat something, the more you are creating this timeline cycle where you just kind of jump through it, right? So let's read some more cards and see kind of where you're at with this devil energy. It's interesting to have it pop out like that right off the bat. Okay, we have the Son of Pentacles. Okay, so you're definitely shifting, you know, look at, yeah, exactly. So you're in a new beginning here. They're very similar animals. Look at that. We've got the goat and we've got the deer. You know, the deer also has antlers. They have antlers. We have the pentacle going in the same place, but here it's the upside down pentagram. And what we're trying to do is flip that pentagram around to become the upright pagan pentacle, which is a symbol of, you know, pagan fertility and creation and magic and mysticism. And so basically it's like it's redefining this energy, right? If you think about the classic sense, you know, the church is what has put us into this false dichotomy of this is all good, this is all bad, right? You're being encouraged to stop looking at the world from that perspective. Your guidance is coming in to say, look at some of these things that you're labeling as the devil, right? Demonic. You know, maybe you had a Christian upbringing. I don't know. You didn't have to necessarily to be on this pile, but potentially, you know, maybe you have this sort of Christian view of magic in the back of your head, and you're really afraid and worried about, you know, dark energy, right? Well, the thing about that dark energy is that, you know, you don't have to do awful dark things to practice magic. First of all, you know, white witchcraft is totally a thing, but also you don't have to get stuck in this false dichotomy of this is all good, this is all bad, this is black, this is white, right? Ultimately, negatives and positives are just two sides of the same coin. So it's like I said, it's coming to the perspective shift so that those habits don't have to be a thing, and you take that energy that you were putting into that habit and you transform it into this new beginning. So the Page of Pentacles, which the Son of Pentacles is in this deck, is all about a new beginning in the material world. It's like a new job, a new money, new physical plane, you know, like you're moving, new house, new something, right? So it's like, in order to get out of this energy that's really not working for you anymore, that's keeping you in this kind of stuck, you know, stuck grossness, you might need to move away from certain people. You might need to change your routine. You may need to move house. You know, you might need new roommates. You might need, you know, something like that, right? You're really being encouraged to look at the idea of starting fresh in your physical world. A new job, you know, maybe it's your job that's getting to you. There's something that's in your environment that's really antagonizing this devil energy and really bringing it out. You know, it's bringing out that goat in you when you want to transform yourself into the deer. So the deer is more receptive, right? The goat, I'm feeling, is more aggressive, combative. See, he's like ready for battle. He's going to go hunt you down, you know? He's like, "Arr!" So you're turning that energy and you're opening yourself up to receiving, like in like this video, you're receiving guidance from your spirit team, right? This is messages from your spirit guide, and spirit guidance. They're really coming into you today here to tell you, like, look, we're trying to give you this message to show you that, you know, there's something about the way that you're using your power. There's something about the way that you're, you know, this masculine versus the feminine. I'm getting that, even though these are both, since they have antlers, they're both masculine animals. But the masculine of the deer here is much more receptive, right? He's using his antlers. They become antenna, like, if you think of them, they're like an antenna. The deer spirit energy is all about that, using your antlers as this antenna to tune into the mystical realms, right? So your spirit guidance is saying, like, hey, listen, you're not in this fight alone here. It's not just you against the world. You know, and even if you feel like you don't have anybody in the physical plane helping you, you've got this huge team who's behind you every step of the way, trying to give you guidance, trying to whisper in your ears about, like, hey, this is stuff you can let go of. Hey, this is stuff you don't need to be doing it. Hey, you can let go of the fire in your hands. You don't need to use your power to do that, to protect yourself anymore. You can be open and receptive to receiving this new way of understanding. You can be open and receptive to seeing and tuning in to this new way of perception. So let's keep looking at the cards here. We've got the Five of Pentacles. That makes a lot of sense. So this is the Dark Night of the Soul card. And I definitely feel that for you. I feel like you may actually be experiencing a dark night of the soul right now in this moment. And if you are, I just want you to know that my heart goes out to you. The dark night of the soul, so what that is it is a part of a person's spiritual development, unfortunately. And it happens to be this way for many of us. And I feel like if you go through a spiritual awakening, you go through a dark night of the soul, period. What it is it's like this period of extreme difficulty where you know, what's happening to you on the internal realm, in the spiritual realm, is you're being thrown into the fire, basically, to be reborn. very phoenix-like. So it's like, you know, your whole world around you is falling apart, you know, paradigms that exist in your mind about who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, and all of these supposed to's that have existed based on societal conditioning. And, you know, who knows, you know, your ego, if you've been very ego-based in living, which we all have an ego. The goal in spirituality is not to get rid of your ego at all. Your ego is incredibly important and has developed in this existence to keep you alive, right? So we're not trying to get rid of the ego or demonize the ego, but a lot of times our ego kind of feels like it needs to double time to work for you instead of just like the little bit that it actually needs to work, right? And so, you know, maybe, you know, you've developed an idea of yourself that you know, is falling apart right now, because that's what the dark night of the soul period is all about. And the Five of Pentacles really talks about that. You can see this wilting rose with the petals falling off. And so your spirit guidance is coming in to say, hey, look, this is a deep, difficult, dark time for you, potentially. And they want you to know that it's going to be okay, that you're going to get through this. And a big way that you can start to get through this is by, first of all, looking into surrender. So I really, really, really highly recommend looking into the idea of surrender, Googling the act of surrender. There's many spiritual videos on YouTube about the idea of surrender, but basically what you're doing is you're being encouraged to just not give up in life at all, but just like kind of let go of the steering wheel a little bit and say, okay, this is all happening. I'm at my wit's end here. And so I'm just going to say, I'm going to step back and ask the universe, the world, reality, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I? You know, what even is this? And then you start opening yourself up to those questions. Instead of forcing your way through life, you open yourself up into this receptivity to tune in to whatever's trying to come into you. You know, there's these answers, these things are coming in to say, hey, it's okay. You know, you don't have to keep forcing this. We're here to give you guidance. We're here to help you. But your spirit team, I think I said this in the opening, they can't help you unless you allow in their help. You know, and you have to just like intentionally ask for their help and say, okay, I'm open to your help. Please come and help me and give me an idea of what's coming next, you know, that kind of thing. And I think you're kind of being encouraged in this moment to do that kind of a thing. Next we have the High Priestess. Yeah. So like I said, the thing about this dark night of the soul kind of a period is it jumpstarts your ability to be able to hear the spirit realm, to be able to understand the guidance that's coming into you. And it's like really, it teaches you how to tune in because you kind of don't have anything left to try. You know, it's like being at this moment where there's nothing else left, there's nothing else for you to do but to keep moving forward and to reinvent yourself in a certain sense, you know. And you, the more that you do that, the more that you let go and kind of, you know, listen to the guidance that's trying to come into you instead of just forcing your way through life, you'll start to feel that the parts of you from when you were a child, the parts of you from when you were young, that you maybe thought were gone forever, that you maybe thought were lost, those kinds of little things will actually start to come back to you, and give you answers, you know, that like, oh, this thing that I used to love as a kid or in high school or whatever, you know, that I totally forgot all about, actually that thing is me, you know, and that's what I'm going to have to do to move forward with my life, you know. And so it's like, it's kind of coming back into that process is where you're going, where you're moving towards, and that's okay, you know. If you're in a really difficult, hard time in your life right now, I just want you to say that, I just want to say to you that it's okay. You know, that it's okay to be in a difficult situation. It's okay that not everything is working out at the moment. It's okay, because not everything is always going to work out in life. And, you know, we have the good times and we have the bad times. We have the easy times and we have the hard times. And, they just keep on rolling. That's just a part of life. And so you're really kind of being encouraged to start feeling that and seeing that and let your life be in seasons. Acceptance is so huge and crucial to this kind of a thing, to just living in general, I think. But it's really, really, the act of acceptance is so huge, because what it is it's saying, okay, I accept my life as it is now. Even if I don't like it, even if there are parts of it I don't want there to be, the thing about it is that by accepting where you are, you come back into the present. And the present moment is the only place where you have power. You only have power over your life in this moment. You have no ability to change the past. So if something happened, 5 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, 3 decades ago, any of that, whatever has happened has happened. And obviously if it was 3 minutes ago, you got a little bit more power of steering your own life ship and moving things in a different direction, right? But, you can't change what happened 15 years ago. You just can't. And so that's okay. You can move forward with your life however you want to. But by that same notion, your power only exists in the present moment. So it's no good to say, well, someday I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that, and that'll be great. And I'm just going to imagine it all in my mind, and just, that's it. That doesn't work either. And I want to tell you from firsthand experience, that's not exactly the way to go. It's perfectly all right to have dreams. In fact, you need to. You need to dream into existence the life you want for yourself. But don't daydream your life and live in the daydream, right? It's way, way, way more important to see a trajectory and then be intimately aware of where you are right now and firmly accept where you are. Be okay 100% in and out with where you are, and then be open to life and the universe giving you steps on how to move forward, because you're not going to know the whole picture now. You're not going to know how to get to where you want to go all the way. You're not going to know all of the steps. And in fact, it's in our society, the way that it's existed, everybody's going to tell you, oh, well, you need a firm plan with 21,000 steps on how to get there of where you want to go. But no, you don't. You can have a firm vision of what you want to bring into life, but then you have to move and physically move your world and move yourself there. And that's a process that takes time and it takes patience, and so the biggest thing that you can do for yourself in this moment, first of all, is to heal. Because if you're in a dark night of the soul, you're probably going through it. You're going through a lot. You're probably dealing with all this past stuff that you don't know how to deal with. You might be in some addictive tendencies because you just don't want to face anything, right? So the biggest thing for you right here, right now, let's pull this and just put it here. Perfect. Oh, that's such a great card. This is great. So you're coming out of that, right? You're in this middle. You might be in this middle, but this is the victory card right here. Look at that. From all this pain and stuff, this beautiful butterfly, this transcendent butterfly is flying out and flying away from that pain forever. So you're moving out of this stuff. This is a firm story that gives a huge trajectory here. But like I was saying before, the biggest way for you to get out of this, for you to become this transformational butterfly, is to face the stuff, right? You see this devil, he might be scary. You got to face him head on, because ultimately, once you face him, and I'm using him as a symbol, it's symbolism, it's symbolic, right? It's all of that stuff that you have been ignoring. It's all of that stuff that you just can't look at. It's all of that stuff that you use, those addictive habits, whatever they are for you. I don't know, maybe you overeat. I don't know you. Maybe you are a sex addict. I don't know you. Maybe you drink too much. I don't know you. Maybe you who knows? You just, whatever it is. You don't want to look at what's going on. You don't want to look at the problems. You don't want to look at the past. And I don't mean to be calling you out here. I'm just giving you tough love. I want you to know that I've been there. I want you to know that I have felt all of this. And I want you to know that most people do, right? You are not alone in this process. You are not bad. You are not this one person who's going through this and, oh my God, I can't believe everybody else has it all figured out. They don't, right? Everybody, I think, has to face this kind of thing in life one way or another. So don't feel bad about it. But the thing about it is, if you want the pain to go away, you have to look it in the face. And I know that is not always the easiest thing to hear. But it's the truth. Because if you are 100% ready and willing to look your problems in the face, that alone will dissipate them. And I know that seems crazy, but if you just accept that they're there, and you accept that you're in a moment of pause, I was at the height of my dark night of the soul period, the height of my own personal low, I guess, the lowest point I've been, the lowest point in my life, right? I didn't know what to do. There was so much I wanted to accomplish in life. There was so much going on in my head, and I just was so under pressure, and like my heart was beating at the most incredible anxiety I've ever experienced. I felt like I was having a heart attack a couple of times. That's the amount of anxiety I was going through in my own period. And then I was reading a lot of runes. I'm gonna read a rune for you too. Well, no, I don't have them handy, so never mind. But I pulled a rune, and it was the Isa rune, which means ice, which means winter. And it was like, okay, I am in the winter of my life. What does that mean? And I feel like maybe you're in the winter of your life right now. And if you are, that's okay. That's okay. If I am when I was in the winter of my life, what I had to do, and we're coming into winter right now, so you very well likely could be in that, our psyche follows the seasons, surprisingly enough, very, very closely, because we are not separate from nature as much as we try to pretend to be. We are nature. We evolved on the planet, and as animals, as beings on this planet, we are of this planet. We follow the seasons as much as the earth does. So, unless you're in Australia, then, then I don't know, you're going through your own seasons, but this feels very winter to me. So if you are in the winter of your life, that's okay, because what's so important to remember is that it's seasonal. There will be spring again. We don't, and I have my Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, which I'm going to have a card from you, has some really wonderful descriptions. And one of it is like, when the leaves fall from the trees in winter, we don't mourn that the tree is dead. We don't cry and have fear that everything is gone forever, because we know the tree is going to bloom in spring. We know the tree is going to bloom in spring. So if you are in a winter period of your life, it's okay, right? The one guarantee in life is that things will change. That is the only thing that we have to rely on in life, is that change is the eternal constant. And so if you are in a winter period, friend, that's fine. That's totally fine. Accept that and live it, be it. Don't harangue yourself for not being able to do a bunch of things right now. If you just can't deal, then your number one priority is healing, right? And that's what you focus on in this period. So you get rid of all your extracurriculars, you stop, whatever you can do to reduce your schedule, do it, and take your free time and start showering meditatively or something. Take baths, go for walks outside, even if it's snowing or it's raining or whatever, wherever you are, it's cold, it's super windy. Take that walk and let your stuff come into your mind, right? Start a meditation practice and start looking at the things that pop up into your head, because those things that pop into your head, when you're finally giving them the space and the awareness and the attention, are going to be the things that you need to work through to heal, and really look into healing, from a spiritual sense. See a private reader. I offer private readings. If you'd like one from me, I would be honored to give you one. I'm doing a new $25 15-minute reading, but there's, I'm not the only one giving readings. There's many other readers. Get a Reiki healing session. That can be incredibly helpful. Whatever you want for you, whatever's going to fit your own mentality. See a counselor. I've seen therapists before, and that has been incredibly helpful in me moving through stuff, so helpful. So, therapy is an option, whatever works for you. But give yourself the gift of healing yourself, give yourself that gift, because when you heal that stuff, the devil goes away, right? You're not going to be in all these habits anymore, because those are just there because you don't want to look at this stuff. So you're putting a bunch of stuff over it so you don't have to look at it. When in reality is, if you work through it, then you're just like eased, then you have an easy time of it. And it's not like, problems will never happen again. No, not at all. But you'll be in a peace of mind, and you'll be able to cultivate within yourself that peace of mind, so that you can move through things in a much, more open way. You'll be in that victory. You'll be in that transcendence. Like, look at that incredible, beautiful butterfly. And your spirit team, your spirit guidance, remember, this is messages from your spirit guides. They're there to help you through this process, and they want to help you. So ask for help from them, because they'll be there, and then be open to seeing it. It'll come in really strange and fun ways, my spirit guidance says hello to me by white cars driving by. You know what I mean? Like, that's the deal we made up in my mind, and it works. Whenever I hear a horn, that's like a little toot of confirmation to say, hey, what you're thinking of, what's going on, that's right on the money. So, like, you'll develop your own symbols and signs. Start looking at, when you see birds flying by, when you run across a squirrel, when you whatever it is, if you're in a different part of the world, when you see whatever animals you've got, you start seeing those symbols, and you start feeling that, and then it opens up to you. You start looking at the clouds, and you see signs in the clouds, like, oh, there's a smiley face smiling at me out there. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. So yeah. Next up, we have 2 cards from the Universal Waite Deck. We've got the Queen of Cups, and we've got the 3 of Wands. Okay, so yeah, that's cool. So, like I said, you might be at whatever process you are in this Dark Night of the Soul period. Maybe you're already here. Maybe you're just starting. Whatever the case, that's okay. You've got a future. That's what the 3 of Wands is talking about. It's like your ship's coming in. You're ready to set sail. You're ready to move on, right? Maybe, remember what I was saying it there? You've got this new beginning coming in here with this Page of Pentacles, and it might mean moving, and in fact, this card can talk about journeys and travels. It's like your ships are coming in. You're ready to move on. You're ready to move into a new direction. So maybe the simple act of moving out of whatever situation you're in is going to get you past where you are, or whatever it is, even if it's just travel, there's some change in your physical reality that's going to bring you into this new phase. So really listen to that, and you're being encouraged to jump and set sail, right? Really set sail when you feel ready, when you feel like it's time, it's coming in. And you've got that Queen of Cups here too. So she's all about, she's the most loving and nurturing person. So really start to tune in and learn how to nurture yourself, nurture your inner child. See these little cherubs up here hanging out, and there's another little guy right there with a fish. Like, learn to cherish your own being, really learn to cherish yourself, because you're it here, you're the only person that you're going to be living with for the rest of your life. So self-acceptance is so important in being alive, because you can't shake yourself, and you shouldn't try to. You got to love you, because you're great, you really are. You came onto this earth plane as a beautiful being, and you still are that, and maybe you've got layers of mud covering it, but, the thing about it is, mud is so easy to just wash off. You just take a shower, right? So you got to take your own little metaphorical shower here, but that comes from viewing yourself with the eyes of compassion, viewing yourself with eyes of love, deep, 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 peaceful love for yourself. You're really being encouraged to do that with this Queen of Cups here. And you've got a new beginning happening here that's like, ready to set sail. It's ready to come into your life, right? This victorious butterfly transformation here, it's fated for you. It's just a matter of you taking the time you need for it, right? And the way that I feel that our life missions work, and this is my own knowing, but it's my own knowing. It doesn't necessarily have to be yours, but this is how I look at the world. Is we come into this life, we come into lifetimes, because I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we continue to come into life to learn. Like, this is a learning plane. So this is the lesson that you're being encouraged to go through. So take as much time as you need. If this takes the next week, wow, incredible. If it's probably going to take longer than that, though. If it takes the next year, that's okay. If it takes the next 5 years, that's okay. If this is your lifetime's journey to learn how to do all of this, that's okay too, because that's what you're here to do. But I feel like I don't feel that for you. I feel like you're gonna be ready to move into this new phase here and open up into this new light, this new beauty. It's just a matter of you surrendering this control a little bit and really facing whatever it is that needs to be faced head on. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's totally possible for you, because once you do that, and once you learn how to listen to the non-physical that's trying to communicate with you, however that communication is going to work for you personally, then you've got this new start here that's really, really beautiful coming in. Next, we have 2 cards from my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself. We've got the 8 of Wands. Yeah, oh my god, it just totally fits into a lot I've already said. And we've got the 2 of Swords. Yes, oh yes, yeah. Totally. So this all fits together so well. The 8 of Wands is all about moving on. It's like in most decks, it's kind of like, oh, no. I'm thinking of the 8 of Cups. Okay, never mind. Well, I do feel you've got the 8 of Cups energy in here, so I'm going to read that symbol to you as well as this one. But, for that, that one is like, in my hand-drawn deck, in the other card, the 8 of Cups, I draw as a wheel as well. And that one I've got, it's the wheel. I wrote from this lyric from that song, "The wheel in the sky keeps on turning," which is this idea that, like I said, at one point, change is the nature of life. Everything is constantly changing. This season of challenge might be the season you're in right now, but that doesn't mean it's the season always. It's just where you are right now, and that's okay. The tides will turn. Things will move. Everything moves into something else, and so that is going to happen for you too. But with this Lord of Swiftness here, this is talking about really, really fast-moving energy coming in. So it's like, once you move through this stuff, this new beginning that wants to come in here, this transformation, this change, this butterfly flying in, this is going to come in very, very, very quickly. So it's just a matter of you choosing it, though. And that's what this 2 of Swords says. Like I was saying, this is all your choice. We have free will in life. We ultimately always have free will. This is a free will plane. It's the reason why your spirit guides, I just got a horn for confirmation out there. So this is an important message for you. The reason why your spirit guides don't interfere always in your life is because it's yours. It's not their life, right? It's yours to make your choices. There is no wrong choice in life, right? There's no wrong move. It's all, and there's another horn for confirmation. It's so true, though. There is no wrong move, and that's what your spirit guides want you to know. You can't get this wrong, you can't get this wrong. It's all about learning. There is no wrong. So don't be so worried, sometimes that can come in with this 2 of Swords energy, is this indecisive energy of like, oh my God, I don't know which path to choose. I don't know which way to go, because if I go the one way, then all those other things aren't going to happen. And I don't know, I've been there. I know what that feels like. That's okay. That's okay. The point is, life is a series of choices. And, if you take one road and it leads you a place you don't want to go, you can always make a different direction. You can always turn around and walk back and go the other way. And yeah, okay, maybe, you spent some time doing that, but you've got nothing but time. Like I was saying, like I said, like I said, this could take you a year, this could take you 5 years, it could take you a lifetime, and all of that's okay because you'll have the next lifetime to keep on moving. And I know, there are no guarantees in life, but it's kind of the truth. I feel that. I feel that. There's nothing but time. There's nothing but time. It's just you. Remember, we are just the universe perceiving itself. And so you are that aspect of the universe that is looking to experience and learn from whatever your life situation is right now. And that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're going through challenges, remember, those are challenges you wanted. You chose them. I think we all choose our lives before we enter. And then it's a fun game of who knows where we'll end up. And when this lifetime is over, we'll be back where we were, and we'll be able to see this was my plan. Oh, and this is what I did. And oh, isn't that so interesting? Look at these choices I made, Like, wow, all right. Now let me go make some more choices. See if I make the same ones. See if I make different ones. Whatever. That's what the free will is all about. It's beautiful. There is no wrong choice. There is no wrong choice. And so you walk down that devil road, and it takes you to some deep, dark, nasty places with some people you didn't really want to be around, doing some things you didn't want to see, been there. Personal experience, right? Definitely been there. You know what you get to do if you see that and you get to say, oh, I don't think I like that. Guess what? All you got to do is say, okay, I'm going to turn around now. I walked down that pathway. That wasn't taking me anywhere I wanted to go. I'm turning around, going back. And you know what? When you do that, when you turn around, right, in this Two of Swords energy, right, like I was saying, guess what? When you get back to that fork in the road, then you just take the other pathway, and that pathway is sitting there waiting for you. I mean that. Everything in life that is meant for you will find you. Always. If something is meant for you in this lifetime, if you are fated to do something, work on something, be a part of something, you will. You will. And like I said, even if it doesn't happen this lifetime, you'll have more time to work through it. You will. But, you have beautiful, bright, loving, caring, new beginnings waiting for you. They're waiting for you, and they're open for you. And it might take you turning around from some old decisions. It might take you learning how to see things from a new perspective. And I definitely encourage you to listen to more readings because, when I was in my dark night of the soul, I obsessively listened to pick a card readings, and they were so helpful. And your spirit guides will give you the readings that you need to hear right now. They always will. And so you will be, you will start to see them magically flow into your feed of exactly the right thing you need to hear right now. And they'll probably be giving you more information on, who you are on the larger level, more information of what your life mission is, more information on how to get out of whatever you're in right now. So I don't have all of the answers for you. Like I said, I do private readings too. So if you want one, please feel free. I would love to give you a reading. But even if you don't go to me, there are so many incredibly, wonderfully talented readers on YouTube that have all helped me in so many ways. I've gotten many private readings from wonderful, lovely people who have all helped me so deeply move through this period of my own life. So, I just encourage you to do that healing work because it's there for you. And you've got this beautiful new start coming for you. It's all about you choosing it, though. You don't have to choose it. You can choose to continue to go down this devil road, too, which I don't mean to call it just the devil because, that's just, like I said, they're two sides of the same coin. So if there are more lessons for you in that direction, that's okay, too. That's okay, too. It's your life journey. I'm not here to judge it. Nobody should be. If you need to, whatever you need to experience, whatever you need for yourself, you can do that. But I want you to know that trying to mask your pain on the exterior will never solve the pain that exists on the interior. It just can't. There's nothing outside of ourselves that can help us in that regard, except other people, right? Like other people can really help you, but not like sex, you know what I mean? Not like a relationship that's codependent, like that kind of thing, not so much. But there are deeply wise people out there, like other tarot readers, like counselors, like, therapists, like, just really good friends, right? You pick up a hobby and you got a friend group. Maybe, I know we're in lockdown 2.0 now, but like, online knitters, whatever. Like you got people out there who have been through what you've been through, and know how to walk you through something. So you're not alone, and you don't have to go it alone. But you do have to face whatever that is inside to heal it if you want it to be gone, because it never really goes away, but you transform and you heal it, and you hug yourself and you love yourself because you're beautiful, and you learn how to see it. You learn how to see it because it's there. You just got to learn how to see it, friend. So next up, we got 2 oracle cards. I got 1 angel card from my new angel deck. The first is from that Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. Normally I read from the book, and I wish I had it with me. I misplaced it. It's somewhere in my apartment, but my apartment's kind of a mess right now. So I'm just gonna channel whatever message I can from this instead of just reading it from the book. But we've got the masculine energy. Okay, I kind of felt that with this devil card I was talking about. The masculine isn't necessarily just, it's not bad, it's not good, it just is, right? We have masculine energy, we have feminine energy. The thing about our society as it exists currently, we have an overextended, we've overextended the masculine into a place where it actually isn't comfortable living because it's being forced into doing stuff that it feels it has to protect us, right? So it's like I was saying, it goes right back to that beginning when it's not just the aggressive, active push, it's that open, feminine, receive the energy. There's this really, really, really wonderful spiritual healer on YouTube. I think her name is Christina Lopes. It's something Lopes, Lopes. She's incredible. But she talks about a lot of things. I've been obsessively listening to her videos lately, but she kind of intuited when the pandemic started, we entered into this new period, this new astrological celestial period, where the energy has shifted on the planet, where we're being encouraged to, mostly use about 70% of the feminine, the universal feminine energy, and only 30% of the universal masculine. So what that means is that it's like opening ourselves into a mostly receptive nature, a lot of meditation, a lot of just quieting the mind, activities to listen and to hear. And then when we do that, we'll be given these messages on how to move forward. And then it's 30% of the go. Okay, let me make that happen. Okay, let's do this. So if you are acting from a place of like, no, I just have to push. I'm gotta plan everything in my mind and figure it all out and move forward, and I don't care, and we're just gonna make it happen. If you mostly do that, you're gonna be hacking through in maybe the wrong direction, right? And then you'll have to go all the way back to the beginning in order to move the way that you need to. It's like your feminine has the compass and your masculine has the machete. That's what she was saying. And so it's like, in order to get where you got to go, your masculine's got to hack through, and then, you got to move through the compass. So yeah, I'm just feeling that with that masculine energy. You're just really being encouraged to, take a step back. Like I was saying with that winter energy, just take a step back for a minute and listen. Just listen and be open to whatever is coming in, and just be open, and then You know, you might start to hear and feel things that you just wouldn't have expected, right? You don't have to have a plan right now. You know, yeah, pay your bills, right? That's really important. If you got to have a job to pay your bills, do that, you know? Like I gotta work at a job I don't necessarily care about in order to survive, you know, so I can't give this channel my all right now, but you know, that's okay. I need to do that to survive, that's okay. But, you know, beyond that, give yourself as much time. You know, if you need to take breaks, you know, to be in that receptive mode, do it. It will help you. If you need to just take a break from all of your commitments except, you know, the bare necessity to survive, and then take that time to do that inner healing, please do that work. You know, please do that. If you feel like you have to, you know, be there for everyone, you don't necessarily have to. And now, you know, yeah, if you have a family and stuff and you're taking care of people, like I totally get that that's not always the easiest thing to do, to take a step back, but find the way, you know, find the way to even give yourself, for meditation, 10 minutes a day, right? 10 minutes a day, you'd be so surprised. I take a break at work. You know, I work really long shifts sometimes, but I just take a break in the middle of each shift. I go outside, I set a timer for 10 minutes, and I meditate for 10 minutes. And, you know, meditation can look different for everybody. You can find the method that works for you. You know, it depends. I'll either have a mantra that I'm chanting or whatever, but a lot of times, you know, you can just do the very simple breathing in, you know, and you repeat in your mind, breathing in, breathing out. You know, and you just focus on your breathing. And every time your mind starts to wander and go into some direction, you catch yourself and you say, hey, thinking, and you just come right back. And you just do that. If you even just 10 minutes a day, and you'll start to notice things changing dramatically. I've just implemented a more rigorous meditation practice into my own life, and it is transformational. You know, all of those crazy thoughts that just go blah, 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 and they just move and they move and they move and they move. They start to dissipate a little. You start to be a little bit removed. You start to remember that you are the person watching those thoughts and not those thoughts. That's so important to remember. You are the force outside of those thoughts, seeing those thoughts happen. You are not the thoughts themselves. You are the perception of those thoughts. And so you start to focus more on the perception and less on the thoughts, and they'll start to dissipate, and you'll start to notice differences and changes in your life. It's amazing. Final card comes from this new deck that I have called the Healing with the Angels. Really great. You might like angels, you might not. I work with them a ton. They are my favorite. The more and more I work with angel energy, the more I'm like blown away at how wonderful they are. But we got friendship. Okay, so remember I was saying you're not alone here, right? You're not. There are people out there that can help you go through this, you know? And so I do feel like, you know, part of this new beginning that's coming in for you, this change in the physical world, might be changing up your friend group, finding some new people, even if it's through the internet, you know? So let's read that from this book here. Card meaning: changes in your friendships are occurring. Be lovingly honest with yourself and your friends right now, and appreciating the healing benefits of a true friend, right? So that's twofold. You got people coming in that are great, but if there are people who aren't so great, you know, be honest with yourself and be willing to let go of some people that are really hurting you, you know, in turn. Sometimes people do, you know. Not only are you changing on the inside, but your life is changing on the outside as well. Oh my gosh. Talk about that synchronicity. This is great. Among these changes are your relationships with friends. Perhaps you fear that you no longer have common interests with old friends, or maybe you wonder if you'll meet new friends with whom you'll share close bonds. Changes in friendships are natural, and the angels ask you to surrender your relationships to them and your spirit guides. You know, you don't necessarily have angels as your spirit team, but I think there's at least some angels here in the room because they work with me. But, you know, your spirit guides in general, your spirit team. Know that the universe and the angels and your spirit team watch over you and your friends. They will lovingly help all of you during these transitions. This card also signifies that you are ready to receive new friendships with people who mirror your interests and ambitions. Yeah, so that's great. I'm going to leave it there, pile number one. This was a beautiful reading. You've got some lovely, wonderful new things coming in, so just be open to them. Be totally open to the changes and the newness and whatever stuff is coming and occurring for you. But this was a beautiful, beautiful reading. Really prioritize your healing right now because it's so important. It's so important. And follow your interests. Follow those. If there's some stuff in your life that you're just ready to let go of, it's time, and do it. And it's okay. And if things have been really hard for you, that's okay too. It really is. It's okay. So feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. I really do love hearing from everyone. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. It really does help me out, and we're getting closer and closer to 1,000. And once we do, yeah, that'll really help me a lot. Once this channel is monetized a little bit more, when I can make ad revenue from it, I'll have more time for it. So I'll be able to devote even more time again, and I would love to do that. But it is what it is. If you have any interest, Patreon is starting to really develop. I have a few new patrons, so a huge thanks to all of my new patrons. I'm so honored to have you with me. You can check that out at www.patreon.com/junodrome. Yeah, I have private readings available on my website. Like I was saying, I have a new tier for my private readings, a $25 15-minute pre-recorded reading. And I'm going to give you a lot in that 15 minutes. I'm going to work really hard for you in that time to give you a lot of answers. So if you have a specific question, if you really want to know something, I'll give you a lot in that time. It'll be bare bones, no nonsense, throw in as much as I can. That is a guarantee that I promise you. So that's an option. I have longer readings available on my website as well. You can check all of that out at www.junodrome.com. Anyway, pile number one, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. See ya. Hey there, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be your reading for messages from your spirit team. What does your spirit guidance want you to know right now? What are the messages, the things that are really important for you to hear in this moment that your spirit guides are really trying to push for you? So you chose this pile with this really cool raw obsidian piece here. It looks like a stone, but you can see a little bit of that shiny glass there on the side. I collected this myself along with a lot of obsidian. It's really beautiful, from Glass Mountain in Oregon. Really amazing spot. I really recommend checking it out. It's like really blew my mind, but there's a ton of obsidian there, and you're allowed to take a bunch, so it's great. Anyway, let's dive into your cards. So we've got a bunch of different cards here for guidance from your spirit team, starting out with 4 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then some other tarot and some oracle cards. So we'll start out just because it's just popping out to me. First card is the Wheel of Fortune. So, the most important message here right now, at least we'll see if there's some more important messages, but, one of them is that you got the Wheel of Fortune. This is a very fortunate period of your life. And, this is a great time in your life right now, friend. So, synchronicities are on your side. Look out for the synchronicities. It's a beautiful, bright, shining new day. Great things are occurring and happening, and it's all here for you, right? So, the stars are here out for you. The sun is here out for you. You've got this beautiful web of rainbow and color. You've got an owl here, this wisdom, universal wisdom coming to you from your spirit teams. They just, your spirit guides want you to know that you're in a very fortunate period, that fortunate things are coming for you. They're here for you. This is it. Be open to the fortune that wants to come into your life. If you've been going through anything tough in the past, you know, this is not one of those moments anymore. So be open to that. Be open to this fortune. Let's see some more cards to get a better picture. We've got the Mother of Pentacles, okay, which is the Queen of Pentacles, who's like very beautiful, abundant energy. So, you know, in the material world, you know, maybe you've got money coming your way, right? But it doesn't necessarily have to be just that. It's like the physical world around you is in this beautiful open spot. You know, maybe you have a family, maybe you've got a family on the way, you know, something like that. Not necessarily, but this is a general reading. So, you know, because look, there's a little baby deer there. Or you're like, you've got a little project, you know, like your project, your budding, beautiful project is starting to grow. And it's got this beautiful, you know, abundant energy. It's very fortunate, beautiful, abundant energy. You've got this abundance coming towards you. It's wonderful. This is a very beautiful energy, pile number 2. Your spirit guides want you to know that things are okay, that you're on the up and up, that you've got this abundance here for you. It's present for you. It's ready for you, and you're collecting it, right? You know, you're open to it. Be open to the abundance that is here in your life coming in for you. And oh my gosh, the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Pile, you got 2 10s because the Wheel of Fortune is a 10 as well. But pile number 2, the 10 of Pentacles is ultimate abundance. So this is incredible. The period of life that you are in right now, the thing that you're entering, I mean, this is you couldn't ask for more, right? This is like the material world is open to you now. You've got nothing to worry about, you know, you've got nothing. It's all here. It's all this beautiful, abundant energy that's just entering into your life. That's incredible. And then the final card is this the 7 of Cups. Okay, interesting. So the 7 of Cups is like, I think it's that like multiple options, right? There's like a bunch of things, and right, that's the 7 of Cups, I think. Just trust yourself, dude. So the 7 of Cups is this, you know, you've got options here, right? You've got a lot. And so maybe, you know, maybe you've been in a period, sometimes it can be like you've got confusing options, or sometimes it's like you've got so much coming for you. And I feel just with the rest of these cards here that it's leaning in this direction, that you have a lot coming towards you. You've got a lot here, you know, it's like maybe you've got multiple things that you've been working on, right? Maybe there are multiple threads in your life. There are multiple projects, there are multiple things, there are multiple stuff that you've been putting your eggs into the baskets of, and they're all coming due now. They're all of that work, all of those little things you kind of put into process, into progress. It's all happening now, and it's all like the return on your investment and all of that stuff is coming for you. It's coming into you. It's all here, which is really cool. So yeah, This is great. I mean, it's so straightforward. You know, there's not a lot, there's not a lot of complexity in this reading, which is kind of nice. It's a very direct message. Your spirit guides want you to know that this is it. This is the time in your life. You know, things are happening. Be in the present with this. Be very present with all of this stuff. The more that you can be in this present moment, the more that these blessings can be given to you. It's like you're in this period of receiving blessings, which means you've probably been working very, very hard to make them happen. But you're in that receptive mode, and just continue to be open to receiving all of this stuff because it's here for you right now, and it's really amazing. Let's look at these two cards here. These are both from the Universal Waite Deck. We've got some complexity now, which is nice. We've got the Page of Wands, and we've got the the Six of Swords. So with that Six of Swords energy, it's like you're moving away from certain things. You're moving on from certain things towards the new horizon, towards better pastures. So it's like this new stuff that's coming in, this ultimate abundance. It's like this is the journey that you're on. And maybe you did this a while ago, you know, maybe you already turned away from a bunch of stuff and you're moving on it, but whatever direction you set yourself sail on in the past, it's really starting to come into place, into the physical with this Pentacles energy here. It's like it's the physical world now is starting to reflect these decisions that you've made to move away from certain things, these decisions that you made to change your life around, these decisions that you made to put the past in the past, you know, to really let go of your past, you know, to not let your past define you and choose this new beginning. And, you know, that's what the Page of Wands here is. It's that new beginning towards following your passions. You know, the wands are all about your passions, your drives, the things that light you up, the things that make you want to move forward in the world, you know, those things. That's what the wands are all about. And so this page here is like a new, fresh start, a new beginning towards that passionate, desiring stuff, you know, whatever that is for you. And it's coming from this like moving away from the pain, you know, moving away from all that stuff, whatever that was in your past that didn't work out. That's okay. That was the past. Things happen. And, you know, there's a mantra that I've been doing for myself that I got from somebody, I can't remember who, so I'm sorry I don't have credit, but a lot of people do this kind of thing. It's just that idea that, you know, I deeply thank my past. Whenever you think about the past, you know, whenever maybe a twinge of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened, or like, oh, that thing, you know, whenever that happens to you, you say, thank you, past, I see you, and I deeply thank you, because you have led me to where I am this moment, and I know now that I am exactly where I need to be right here, right now. And so my past, I can let you go. You know, those kinds of things. When you say that kind of thing to yourself, every time you think about something from the past that's like kind of a twinge or pain or something, you know, I think you've probably already done a lot of work on letting that stuff go. You know, with this Six of Swords here, I think it's a thing you've already done because, you know, like I said, you're starting to reap the rewards from this long-term process you've already been through for a while. And it's just coming from you following your passions no matter what, you know? It's your life. This is your life, you know? Forget the buzz, forget the noise, you know? All the chatter and the noise from all these outside voices. Just no, forget it. That's them. This is you. You get to choose whatever the hell you want. It's your life. And that's what you're doing. You know, by setting sail on this, you're just like letting go. You probably already let go a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of situations. Maybe you moved, maybe whatever. Whatever you did to change your physical reality is paying the heck off right now. And now you're just free to follow your own path in life. And the universe, you know, your spirit team, who this is a message from, they're right behind you every step of the way. They're like, great, okay, thank God. You know, you're doing it, you're moving. Let's make it happen. We're excited for you. We're ready to work with you. Let's do it. You know, you've got all that energy. There's a lot of energy behind you right now, and it's beautiful. Yeah, we got two cards for my hand-drawn deck. I drew this deck myself. We've got the Two of Wands. Cool. Yeah. And Temperance. Temperance. So first off, Temperance, there's an angel here. So you got some angel guides coming in for you too. You might have some angels in your spirit team. You not necessarily, but a lot of people do. I certainly do. So, you know, your guardian angel, you know, who you know, it's our spirit team, our spirit guides. You know, some people refer to them as our guardian angels, right? Your guardian angel's coming in right now to give you this gift too. Look at those little gifts she's giving you right here, which is beautiful. You know, and it's sometimes I refer to this card as the lemons card, like making lemonade out of lemons. Like, you've done that. You've learned the best way to make lemonade out of those lemons that life has thrown you, and because of that, it's really paying off for you. You know, your ability to do that, your ability to work through difficult things, your ability to transmute and transform any painful experience that's happened to you and move into something beautiful and better, regardless or because of, or, you know, whatever that is, because of that stuff, that is paying off, and your spirit team is on the other side giving you the most thunderous applause right now. Like, they are so blown away and happy for you and loving with you. You know, they are, you know, it's like watching one of those movies that really jazzes you up, right? You know, it's like, you know, lights you up, and you're just like, oh my God, they're really doing it. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, they did it. They're doing it. Like, that's how they feel about you right now. Which is so amazing, you know? It's like, this is so great. Like, how beautiful. This reading is great. I love this reading. You're awesome, dudes. And I use dude in a gender neutral capacity. So I don't mean to offend anyone. I definitely don't want any of my femmes out there to feel like I'm, you know, I don't want to trigger anybody, but I use it in a term of endearment. You've also got the Two of Wands here, which is like setting off. You know, it's a person who's generally depicted as a man who's holding the world in his hands and imagining the future and ready to set sail and travel. And so I know we can't really do a ton of traveling right now because of COVID and all of that, but, you know, this is timeless, so you might be seeing this way after all of that. But it's also, you know, even if it's just journeys in some capacity, it could be internal, it could be whatever, you're ready to just set sail in life. You know, you're ready to just, like, with this Page of Wands here, travel in whatever direction you need to. You know, there's actually a lot of traveling energy here. So maybe you moved, you know, maybe you did move, and because you're following yourself, something like that. You know, whatever the case is, you know, you have let go of this past. You have said, okay, I see you and I accept you, and I don't need any of this stuff. It's my life. I get to choose what I want, and I'm gonna choose what I want in this life, and not let anybody or anything or anything really get me down or work it in a way that's not going to help me. You know, regardless, whatever, you're open to this beauty, and it's so incredible. So pile number 2, this is a wonderful period of your life, and I just want to congratulate you. Your spirit team wants to congratulate you, you know, of just acknowledging that you've been through so much and you are making so much happen, and it's beginning to pay off for you in ways that you're starting to see, and it must be so exciting. So just congratulations all around, and it's just such a wonderful energy. So now we've got cards from your oracle decks here. The first comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. Normally I read from the book for this, but I misplaced the booklet. It's somewhere in my apartment. So I'll find it eventually for the next readings, but for now, I'm just going to channel what I can from the message. And it's the sexual energy. Okay, so the sexual energy, if we think about the Kundalini in Tantric Yoga, it's all about, you know, connecting to the sacral chakra. If you subscribe to the chakra systems, I do some energy work within my own body, and I'm starting to learn Reiki a little bit, so I can do a little bit of energy work. I'm starting to figure out for myself. But a big part of that sacral chakra is where your creativity lives. It's the creative force. It's also where the sexual energy lives. It's the same kind of area of the body where the genitals are. But it's like that force, you know, in the Kundalini yoga, in that tantric yoga, they imagine a coiled up snake And then the Kundalini force is that snake moving up through your spine, up through your body, and connecting you up into the heavens, basically, which is sort of this idea of you connecting into the spiritual, the non-physical, where your spirit team lives, and getting those visions and then bringing them back down into your life and transforming that creativity into your life. So I feel like whatever is happening in your life right now, whatever you're working on, whatever's going on, like I said, it could be a family, but it could be a project. There's definitely just a lot of creativity in your life right now. This is a very creative period, very dynamic, very moving, creative force, and so really tap into that creativity, let it come in whatever way it needs to, and just be open to it, and be, it's such an exciting, I'm a creative person myself. I'm an artist and I do a lot of creative projects, and it's just, there's nothing more exciting and wonderful and great than to just be inspired and to work, and to just work, and move and make it happen. And I just feel that creative, juices flowing for you, and it's beautiful, and it's going to be successful for you too. You're following those passions, and they're going to pay off physically, materially, moneyly. It's like there's money here somewhere. It doesn't have to just be about money, but it's freedom. You're manifesting your freedom in the physical plane, and it's so incredible. Yeah, this energy is just buzzing through me, and it's so exciting. It's just such an exciting period for you. I'm so excited for you, pile number 2. Final card comes from this new deck that I have. It's Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. It's so lovely. I love angel energy, so it's another angel card. Like I said, you don't have to subscribe to angels or work with the angels, but, they're just there if you want to. You don't have to. They're great. They're never going to force you to do anything. When you're working with the non-physical, I would just always recommend, that you put some parameters around who you work for or work with. That's it right there. Working with, don't work for somebody. If you feel like you have to work for an entity, well, I don't know. There's a lot of deity worshipers around, some pagans who I don't want to knock. I think that has its own beauty to it, but it's not my path to worship a deity. It is my path to work with beings in the non-physical, but it's a relationship. You're working together. If you're ever in a relationship where you feel like you have to do things for them and you're not getting anything out of it, and it's not working, and or you feel like you're being used, or your energy's being usurped, or any of that, I recommend, don't work with those beings because you don't have to, right? You don't have to. You can put up those boundaries with the non-physical. It's so important to do that. But anyway, what I like about angels is that you don't have to worry about them at all. They'll only work with you when you ask. They only come to you when you ask for it. And, you have to give them permission to help you. Your spirit team too, that's a big thing. And that's a big thing too about when you work directly with just your spirit team and your spirit guides. What's great about that is they're a team in the non-physical who that's what they're there for. They're working with you directly because you have a soul contract with them. Before you came into this life, you all made a plan to be together. And maybe some lifetimes you've been their spirit team, you know what I mean? Who knows? That's kind of how it all works. It's all kind of transcendent and loose like that. And so it's these are your friends, right? These are your friends. They've got your back thick and thin. They're here for you. For very specific reasons, and maybe part of it is working through their own karma, is to help you in your karma and all of that, So working directly with your spirit team you don't got to worry about them. And then angels in general, they're just nice. They're just kind. Especially, the more Western modern conception of what angels have become in this particular moment, they're just kind. They're just great. So anyway, you've got signs. Ooh, look at the synchronistic. Remember I said this was a synchronistic period of your life? I think I said that in the opening. Look at the signs and the symbols as they come into your life here. Look at that. Look at it up close. This beautiful woman in this amazing galaxy coming in here, It's you've got signs in the physical world that are giving you answers. So definitely pay attention. Let's read from the book for this. Card meaning: pay careful attention to the messages the angels give you now. You have asked for a sign, and they deliver it. Notice and trust these signs. So if you were wondering whether you were in a good spot right now, whether you had abundance on the way, any of that kind of thing, this reading is a confirmation to say, hell yeah. But, pay attention to the outside world too. You've asked for heaven to help you. Now it's up to you to pay attention to the evidence of their help. This card signifies that your angels are trying to get your attention with signs. They might ask a butterfly or a bird to fly near you, or they might compel you to hear a song several times. They might put an object in your path so that you have to notice it. Drawing this card is also a sign from your angels. So they're giving you a sign just here and now. They are trying to get through. Please notice. You can ask your angels to give you a sign whenever you have a question or a decision to make. Usually, it's not a good idea to specify what type of sign you'd like. Leave that up to the angels. They are very good at making their presence known. So I'll extend that to not just angels. It's definitely to your spirit team and your spirit guides too. If you don't want to work with angels, you can still do that exact same thing, but just say to your spirit team, your spirit guides, your ancestors. If you only want to work with your ancestors, that's cool too. Your ancestors are there to help you, although, it's important. I think for you, with the way that this reading has gone, I think you've done a lot of work on yourself already, and you've probably worked through any ancestral trauma. I know sometimes it's difficult to work with our ancestors when we have a lot of ancestral trauma built up, just from speaking from personal experience. You kind of got to move through all that first. You got to do some healing. You got to heal your ancestors and heal some stuff. If there's a lot of pain there, they won't be as readily available. Not necessarily, a lot of them will, they'll definitely be wanting to work with you, and they'll be open to communicating with you and all of that. So that's ancestor working with is this whole other thing. But, I just went off on a tangent, but definitely, heal your ancestors. It's really helpful and helps you to, heal yourself. By healing yourself, you heal your ancestors. I'll put it that way, because you are the culmination of all of the people who have come before you. So when you work on yourself, when you work on healing yourself, you're not just healing you. You're those things that are in you, those traumas, those pains, are manifesting. A part of that's your own personal karma, but a part of that's ancestral stuff too. It's the epigenetic data that you have inherited from your parents, who inherited from their parents, who inherited from their parents, and then all of those life circumstances of those people before you were encoded into their DNA. They went into your DNA, that all of that. So when you heal yourself, you're also healing your ancestors. So that's a total tangent, but you can work with your ancestors, you can work with your guides, you can ask to see signs from any of them, and they will show them. They will show them to you. So be open to that. It's great. Anyway, pile number 2, that was my reading for you. I'm going to leave it there. Pretty straightforward, really beautiful. This is a beautiful, dynamic, wonderful time for you. Very creative. There's a lot of great energy going for you, and I love to see that. I love to feel that. So yeah, tune into it. If you have any interest in a private reading, I'm super excited to announce that I have a new 15 minutes $25 reading, as well as my other readings are still available. So feel free to check that out at my website at www.junodrome.com. A huge thanks to my Patreon subscribers. We're gearing up and ready to go on Patreon. So if you want to join us, there's a lot of fun perks there. So check that out at patreon.com/junodrome. Huge thanks to the people who are supporting me so far. I'm so honored that you want to do that and that we're moving forward together. So yeah, stay tuned. We got more readings coming. There's more stuff coming. So thank you so much, pile number 2. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later. See ya. Hey there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So this is your reading for messages from your spirit guides, from your spirit team, the team that exists in the non-physical that are helping you through this life. We all have one. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a spiritual person or not, you have a spirit team. They are there, they are helping you. You agreed together to be together. They agreed to help you through this life before you came into it, and now that you're here, they're helping you. So you chose the pile with this cool red obsidian with the black lines. I collected it in Oregon. It's a really awesome trip. Beautiful. I really recommend it. Oregon is so beautiful and so diverse. I live in Washington State, and I'm so blown away every time I leave the city, just how diverse the Pacific Northwest is physically, geographically, and how beautiful it is, transcendently beautiful. There's so many different areas, but the desert is where I was, and oh, so beautiful. These like really incredible juniper trees growing all over, like a juniper little mini forest in the desert, which is like, I've never seen anything like that. And that was amazing. So anyway, pile number 3, let's take a look at your cards. So what do the spirit guides, your spirit guides want you to know? We're going to start out with 4 cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then we've got a couple more tarot and some oracle cards. So starting out, we've got the 2 of Cups. Okay, so this is a big period for you of the heart chakra. The 2 of Cups to me always indicates the heart. It's love. And so there's 2 different options. This could be love with another person, or it could be, more importantly, love of yourself. And a lot of times the love that you connect with in another person comes into full being when you deeply love yourself as well. So it's this self-acceptance, coming into your own self-worth, deeply, deeply being at peace with who you are and where you are, and loving yourself anyway, and really boosting that heart chakra, right? Clearing out your heart center, being in this heart-centered living, which means really focusing on your heart and letting your life move from the heart, coming out of your mind less and moving into your heart more. I would recommend Googling heart-centered living for spirituality and just being in your heart. You'd be amazed. We kind of are stuck in our minds all the time, and our thoughts keep moving. But if you imagine your awareness moving down from your forehead, through your throat, down into your heart space, and just being aware of your heart, feeling your heartbeat, in a meditation of just like listening to your heartbeat, putting your hands over your heart, feeling your heartbeat, and just becoming aware of who you are right here, right now, in your heart, being open to your heart, and being open to the world, and being open to life, and open to yourself, and loving yourself no matter what. That's what the heart-centered living is all about. And then you start making decisions from your heart. What do I want from my heart? What will make my heart sing? What decisions will work for me from the heart? You're being encouraged to do that in this period. Let's look at the next card. The Ace of Swords. Okay, so you've got this new beginning that's coming in, where you're in this heart space living, and maybe it is, like I was saying, it could be because you met somebody, but it doesn't have to be. It's just really important you do this work with somebody, you do this work without somebody. Doesn't matter. You're in a new beginning for your heart, and it's a new thought process. It's a new perspective. So, you're about to change your perspective with that. The swords are all about the mental body and the mental sphere, and the aces are new beginnings. So it's like you're in this new start now, where maybe you're thinking about, like I was saying before, you're leaving your mind a little bit more, and you're going to be from your heart a little bit different. You've found a new way to live. You found a new way to move, where you're going to put your heart first. You're gonna move from your heart, which is beautiful. Next up, we have the Judgment card. Wow, I've never gotten this in this deck before, but it's beautiful. Look at this beautiful dove there. It's very angelic to me too. So your spirit guides are really kind of saying that, like, this is a new beginning for you. And it's coming from the Judgment card. Is like this really cool card where it's like you enter into this period when you've done a lot of work, when you've gone through a lot of things, when maybe life hasn't always gone your way, and maybe you've been through something really traumatic and dramatic in the past. The Judgment card comes in to say, okay, we're going to do a recap of your life now. It's like really kind of mental with this Ace of Swords. It's like this new perspective, this new thought process is maybe going to come in from starting to reframe how the past is in your mind, you know, where you start to come with a picture where you see everything from your past, you know, good, bad, letting go of those labels of good and bad and just seeing it, just allowing it to be, you know, being totally comfortable and at peace with where you are right here, right now. And accepting who you are, accepting where you are, you know, being exactly where you are right now is exactly where you need to be. And your spirit guides are coming in to let you know that, you know, that if you want to move out of where you are, you know, or if you love where you are, either way, you know, the only way to move forward in life is to accept completely where you are right now, to completely and totally accept your life, to completely and totally accept the conditions that are in your life, even if you don't like them. Accept that you are where you are because of the situations in the past and the circumstances that led you to that moment. Where you are right here, right now, this present moment, is the culmination of all of your prior actions. And that's great. You know, that's okay. What that means is that now you have the ability to move forward by if you totally accept all of the conditions that have come before you. That means you know what you need to do to keep the things you want to keep and let go of the things you don't want to keep anymore, because you can change the actions moving forward if you made actions you didn't like in the past, you know, that kind of thing. So the judgment is all about doing that kind of processing, you know, just blanket seeing yourself for who and where you are. No good, no bad, just you. Where are you, you know? Next card is the Moon card. Okay, cool. This is an interesting reading. You know, your spirit guides are here communicating with you right now. And you can't necessarily see them. You know, that's kind of what the moon is saying to me. But they're there regardless. And the moon can talk about intuition. So it's like you're being encouraged to develop a stronger intuition, to really develop this intuitive ability to communicate with them, because they want to come in. You know, I really feel that with this dove here. It's like this angel, you know, you've got an angel coming in to talk to you. You know, and the, you know, the Ace of Swords, and a lot of people associate it with the Archangel Michael. So if you want to work with angels, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, you don't have to identify with the Archangel Michael, but I feel him present in this reading. Definitely with the Judgment and that Ace of Swords there. Yeah, definitely. The Archangel Michael's here to communicate with you if you want to hear him. And he's saying that, like, you know, it's okay, that everything's all right. And you know, you're at this new beginning here, this new start. And in order to really achieve that, it's like you got to cut away, you know, these things that don't work anymore. Archangel Michael's all about cutting cords. So it's like maybe you got to cut things off from people in the past, in order to meet new people. If you're looking to meet new people, if you want a new relationship, you know, if you want to open your heart to somebody else, and you don't have to read this reading, you know, you don't necessarily have to be single. If you're in a relationship already, then that relationship is ready to be strengthened potentially. Or, you know, if it's not working, then be okay leaving it. You know, that's where this judgment comes in. It's all about like taking a look at your life, you know, taking responsibility for you and yourself and who you are and where you are right here, right now, and accepting all of that, and then allowing yourself to see who you are and move forward from a place of love for yourself. You know, this deep self-compassion that I was talking about at the beginning. I just feel that there's a lot of really deep compassion coming to you. And with that moon card here, it's like you don't necessarily see everything that's coming, and that's okay. When the moon shines at night, you can still see a pathway forward. You might not be able to see everything in front of you, but you can still see enough in the moonlight to keep walking forward. So you might not see everything that's going on. You might not totally understand everything, but the moon is there to still illuminate your way. Your guides are here. Your spirit team is here. The Archangel Michael is here to give you a hand to help you through things. And like I said, you don't have to subscribe to the angels at all if you don't like to. You know, you don't have to work with them, but I just feel that presence here, so it's going to help somebody. So, just be open to that. This heart-centered living period is here for you. Really from a place of compassion, healing that heart chakra, being okay with your past, being okay with where you are, allowing yourself to forgive yourself for anything that's happened in the past, that forgiveness, and forgive others for the things that they've done. Now, forgiving other people doesn't mean you need to let them back in your life. You don't have to tell somebody, I forgive you, to forgive them. Forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. It's allowing yourself to move on from the past by forgiving that person, so you're not holding that anymore, because the pain and the grudge and that you're feeling against that other person, they're not, especially if you're not talking to them or you're not seeing them, it doesn't affect them one way or the other. Whether you feel that towards them or not, they're not going to be affected by it either way. So it's only going to affect you. That energy is going to affect you and eat at you and cause you pain. And so in order to move on from that kind of thing, I really do recommend looking up how to forgive. For a while, I had to look up some forgiveness of other people from my past and in my life. And I literally just looked up, how do I forgive people, on Google? And there was this wiki how about the act of forgiveness that was like so transformational for me and helped me through a lot of pain. So, I just feel that, for you, you're getting in that forgiveness here, because remember, it's a gift that you give yourself. You're healing your heart chakra is a gift for you that you give yourself, and it allows you to move on from all of these difficult things that have happened to you. And allowing yourself to feel that, and it's good, it's beautiful. We've got 2 cards from the Universal Waite Deck. We've got the 7 of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Wands. Okay, 2 energies coming in of Wands. That's interesting. So the 7 of Wands, this is an interesting card. It's sort of like triumphing in a struggle. So the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Wands are very similar cards. And the 5 of Wands, there are 5 people who are fighting with wands, and they're all at a stalemate. None of them can move forward. They're all kind of stuck together. The 7 of Wands is one person finally gets to the point where they are able to overcome, and they overcome that struggle. They overcome that pain. They overcome the thing. And so it's like this powerful energy of, like, maybe you've been in this struggle in the past, and you've been through this stuff, and you've been through the rigor, and the blah, whatever happened, you've been through it, right? Well, this is a card coming in to say, now is the period of overcoming that. You are now at the point in your life where you're ready to move into something new. You're ready to overcome that pain. You're ready to face it head on and win that battle. If it's a battle with yourself, it's a battle with other people, it's a battle with your mind, whatever that is, you're ready to overcome it. You're ready to move on from it. You're ready to let it be in the past, And so it's like that act of forgiveness, I think it can be really helpful for you in this period. But you're going to overcome this. Whatever struggle might be present in your life right now, you are here to overcome it, and that's coming for you. And then we have the Knight of Wands, which is saying, the Knights are all about the movement that's happening in the reading. They're the energy, they're the action. Where is the action? Where's the movement? And it's in the Wands, which is about your passions. It's about your drives. It's about what lights you up in life. And so you're really being encouraged to allow your passions to be your compass through whatever's happening. And in this judgment period that you might be in, of really facing where you are. This is where I am. This is what's happened. This is what's going on. I'm facing it head on. By allowing yourself to do that, you're opening yourself up to this new period where you're going to be following your passions and your drives, and really allowing yourself to be in that passionate, beautiful period, which is incredible. Next up, we have 2 cards from my hand-drawn deck. We've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, interesting. I thought it was another Knight of Wands, but it's another Knight, which is cool. And the Ace of Cups. Wow! So 2 aces, definitely new beginnings. The Ace of Cups is like this 2 of Cups here. 2 cups energies. You got a 1 and you got a 2. Or you got a 2 and a 1, you know what I mean? So that's cool. It really is, you now are opening up your heart. You're opening up your heart chakra. You're opening up your heart's ability to be present in the moment. You're opening up your heart's ability to love yourself. You know, this deep, loving, compassionate energy is coming in. And that we've got, like I said, the nights are about movement. So it's not just a movement towards your passions and drives, but it's a movement in the mental body, in the mental sphere as well. So it's that new beginning in the mind, new perspectives, a shift in thinking. With the Judgment card, it can talk a lot about being in this mind state. Like I said, it's this being aware of, you know, everything that's happened. It's allowing yourself to go through that mental process of sorting it all out, you know, sorting it all out. You're kind of being encouraged to do that, to get rid of the things that aren't fitting you anymore. Do some cord cutting. Maybe some cord cutting meditations are really going to help you. There's a lot of really awesome ones on YouTube. I recommend looking up cord cutting meditations. They can help a lot, you know, but whatever the case, you know, you've got this new way of perceiving the world that's going to help you out a lot. Finally, I've got 2 oracle cards for you. The first one comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, which is one of my absolute favorite decks. I normally read from the book for these cards, but I don't know where the book went. It kind of misplaced it. I'll find it again eventually. But we'll start just so you have it here. Integration. Yeah, this is connecting very much with the Judgment card. It's all about integrating the past. It's like coming to a clearer perspective of everything that's happened in your life, you know, and just being here, right now in the present, and just allowing everything to catch up to you, you know. It's like maybe take a step back from action for a second and just allow everything to just catch back up, you know, and reintegrate all of these parts of yourself, you know, if there's any missing parts of yourself, you know, which, you know, basically just means if you know, we give our power away into different situations at different periods of our life. You know, if we've been through a really difficult thing and we move on from that thing without closure, we can leave behind little bits and pieces of ourselves, unfortunately. And so I encourage you too, you know, with this Ace of Swords and kind of Archangel Michael energy, to maybe do some kind of ritual or some kind of meditation where you call your power back, you know. Just, you could look that up on YouTube too. There's probably people talking about it, but calling all of your energy, calling all of your power back to yourself from wherever it's been, whoever it has it, you know, any of those kinds of little things. It's just like, I call back all of my energy into myself. It is my intention to call back all of my power into myself, and it is my intention to let go of anything within me that is not mine. I release all of that which is not mine and call back all of the things that are mine back to me. You know, those kind of little mini rituals can actually really help, and I feel like you're being encouraged to do that kind of a thing right here, right now. We have a final card from the my new deck is Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. I love working with angels. I think they're great. You don't have to, but there's angels all over this particular reading. So, you know, like this is messages from your spirit team in general, but I do feel like whoever is watching this probably has some heavy angel alignment in your spirit team as well. But you've got celebration. All right. So you definitely have some stuff to celebrate here, which is really cool. I feel that, you know, that cheersing, you know, you got this like cup here is cheersing you, and these 2 cups here together is that heart chakra, that heart-centered living. So maybe this is all a bunch of work you've already been doing too, you know. Like I said, you're overcoming whatever's happening. It's this overcoming energy. So let me read celebration from the deck. That's really cool. Good news. Cause for celebration is here, and it is time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. The angels want you to know that this is a excuse me, that this is a light-filled time in your life. You have been working toward making changes, and your intentions have now manifested into form. This is the time for you to fill your heart with a warm feeling of gratitude. The angels ask you through this card to hold strong in this gratitude. Yeah, gratitude meditations are really great too. So I recommend looking up some gratitude practices. You are like a gardener who plants seeds and nurtures them because she has faith that her labors will yield new growth. Keep watering and tending to your seeds, and you will soon see them sprouting through the surface. The angels are your co-gardeners and your spirit team, who help you tend to your crop. So yeah, that's my reading for you, pile number 3. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I really, really love hearing from everyone. I've got a brand new 15-minute reading that's available on my website for $25. I also have other readings available there. So feel free to check that out at my website, www.junodrum.com. You can check that all out there. And a huge, huge thanks to my Patreon subscribers. I'm so honored to have you with me on that journey over there. If you want to join in on all the fun on Patreon, you can check that out at patreon.com/junodrum. Anyway, pile number 3, I will catch you later. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. See ya.